right, guys, welcome back to Muay TV, episode 11. I'm Justin Samaro. To my left here is my co-host, Ezra Regan. And our special guest today is the Velasquez family. We have young Ezra to my right and Luis. Luis is known for only dads on Instagram. And young Ezra is an amateur boxer and Muay Thai champion here in the Northern California area. And today we got a Christmas special, so clearly you can see all the fun festive stuff we have here. We got some warm hot chocolate that we're sipping on, and thanks to Emerson and Chris over here with the great ideas to get festive. But welcome to the show. We'll get right into it. So thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks for driving up here. We definitely wanted to have you both up on at the same time. You guys come as a package.
Thank you.
and yeah, Ezra, congratulations on all the success, young man. I know you just got you won the red belt, the Rising Stars junior title.
Thank you.
Also, you capped it off with the Junior Amateur Muay Thai Fighter Award from Fight Culture. That's fantastic.
How does that make you feel, man? Like you got that's a lot of wins as a young man. How old are you right now?
14. I just turned 14 2 months ago.
Nice. So how does that feel, having all those accolades so far?
It feels good. You know, I got a lot more coming up next year too. So excited.
Yeah, just the start of it, huh?
Yeah.
So tell us more. What were your numbers this year? How many fights did you have?
I think I had 8.
8 fights. So almost one a month.
Yeah.
And then what was your record?
I think I went. No, I had 6.
6 fights.
I went 4 and 2.
4 and 2.
4 and 2.
Very nice.
And then, that last fight, great 5-round performance in front of that sold-out show at Rising Stars, and all eyes on you with the southpaw style. What'd you think of that performance?
It was good. I'd say the best part of that fight was probably my Wai Kru. Everybody was going crazy when I was doing it. It was
nice.
Good. It was good.
So tell us about Wai Kru. Not everybody knows what it is. Explain Wai Kru.
It's like a tradition where you're showing respect to your coaches, all of that, and then the Mongkol and the wrist.
So the Mongkol is the headband, right?
The headband.
Okay. Yep.
And then the stash, the binding of the flowers, all of that,
And your gym has the sash. Not everybody wears that one. What? Tell me a little bit about that. Is that just like a part of the garb? Is that like just one thing that you guys have on you? But is it represent a specific significance?
No, not really. We just have it. We have that, and we have like a little Filipino flag, because like all the coaches are like Filipino, and two of our coaches are still active. So whenever they walk out, they wear that Filipino.
Nice. So it's kind of like the Scottish flag.
Yes. But it's interesting, each camp in the different traditions that they have. Some do more ring rituals and wearing of the amulets and the sash and Mongkol, and some not at all. You guys obviously have a real strong culture. Ezra, whose Wai Kru is that, or whose Ram Muay? Who did you learn that from?
Nobody. I made it up myself.
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys, the teacher, you guys don't have one uniform Ram Muay that you do?
We don't. I was just going on YouTube looking at a bunch of different Wai Krus, taking stuff from each one.
I noticed that because yours is very unique. I don't recognize. It's interesting. We were looking at it, but it was great. And you're right, the crowd did love it. And it's interesting going around the region to the different Muay Thai shows and seeing the crowd's reaction to Ram Muay Wai Kru. Rising Stars, obviously, the crowd was loving it. And, it kind of breaks up the violence. You get this lull where you get the slower music. You see both athletes doing the Ram Muay, and then boom, the fight hits. There's something to the ebb and flow of that. That when the Muay Thai show goes correctly, it makes it very enjoyable for the onlookers. Most importantly, other crowds, they're more hostile. They just want to see the exchange. We were up at South Lake Tahoe for Berto's fight last weekend.
Yeah.
And it kind of had a mixed crowd. It was a hybrid card. There was MMA and Muay Thai on the same card. But, you got some bad reactions to the Wai Kru and a Ram Muay. And
Berto was saying there was guys in the crowd that were just heckling, like literally. It was because it was quiet in a fairly small, intimate venue. You can hear everything those guys were saying. So,
but it's just interesting. Berto's Ram Muay was beautiful, though. Even in Defiance, he did it in that beautiful ballroom and represented Muay Thai.
Nice.
And then the crowd got to see a good display of the skill after, which made it hit home. You know, when you do a big, long, beautiful Wai Kru Ram Muay, but then you don't fight good, it doesn't hit. But Berto came through, and the crowd got a good show.
Yeah, that's cool, Ezra, that you have kind of made your own style, because those of us who have even been competing a long time in Muay Thai, we don't even really know what we're watching. Mm-hmm. And those are the people who study it enough to want to make their own. That's really cool, because it shows your passion in the sport, and it shows that not only are you thinking about how to hit the bag better, or work on your combos and get your jab better, but you're thinking outside of the gym. What else can I do to perfect the sport? So that's really cool. So between boxing and Muay Thai, because you're doing both of them, which one's taking the favoritism for you? Are you liking Muay Thai more or boxing more?
That's hard. I get asked that a lot.
I bet.
Yeah.
And we want a definitive answer right now. You're young, so you should know.
It's Muay Thai. Muay Thai.
Okay.
Muay Thai.
And what about Muay Thai draws you more to it than right now? I mean, things could change, as you get older. But right now, why do you like Muay Thai better than boxing?
I don't know. Like the training, when you're hitting pads, you can kick, you can knee, you can elbow, you can do a lot of stuff. But when you box, it's just straight hands. Also since I haven't fought in boxing since last year, a year ago.
Okay.
So I haven't really been really active in amateur boxing. So now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, your style definitely reflects a lot of good boxing. The head movement was really fun to watch. I thought it was the best fight of the night, just because personally I really love watching the up and coming young teenagers. You guys are, those of you who are talented really are showing that you're a prospect, and come to see you in your 20s as you grow into your body. It's going to be, really cool to see. But Luis, how is it seeing your son doing all this? How's the family take it? How's mom? And how is it hard watching your kid get in there and get punched in the face?
Sometimes I do get more nervous watching him fight than when I fight, and the feelings mutual between both of us, because when I'm going up, he's more nervous than I am, and he's like, "That chill," But when he wanted to fight, it's like I told him, if you're gonna do it, what comes with it, the dedication, the commitment, everything with it. And ever since then, he's never let go. So we have an understanding of what we're getting ourselves into. He's gonna get hit, but I do it, so I already know. And like we were talking earlier, there's not a lot of hit power right now where he can get damaged. So I really don't know the experience of seeing him hurt. But for now, I mean, I enjoy it. I love watching him fight.
Nice.
It's got to help being a practitioner. I've trained a lot of junior athletes, and when you train the junior athlete, you're working with their parents as well. And a lot of the fighters that I've had, their parents have little to no boxing experience. So I do a lot of coaching of the parents, and also taking a lot of responsibility for what's going to happen and what kind of harm you're putting these kids in front of. But I think, you being a fighter yourself, that's got to help.
Yeah, because how hard it is to get hit and hit the other opponent when you both are doing at that level. Well, your kid's talented, so he's not just sitting there like a heavy bag, and so you got to hit him too.
Yeah. So for this last fight, I couldn't, because I work as an official now. I couldn't really be in his corner. I couldn't see him. But I was just asking everybody around, just hey, how do you see Ezra? They're like, dude, chill. He can take care of himself,
So I I saw Ezra right away. You know, in the scene, his talent stuck out right away when I saw him, and then obviously the name. You know, in the Muay Thai industry, there hasn't been another Ezra. So all of a sudden, the commissioners are yelling in the locker room, doing name checks, and they're like, Ezra. And I'm like, yes. And they're asking for a junior here. So, you know, that's been interesting. But, yeah, I realized his skill almost immediately when I saw him. And I'm sure that's got to help as well. He's putting it on a lot of his opponents. He's not getting knocked out. And then, yeah, the name. I was like, wow, we got a young Ezra champion on the scene. Like, who is this kid? We got to find out more.
And
Southpaw. But then
good one.
You know, I'm a tough critic, you know, so when I see a talented youngster, I'm going to watch him for a while, and I'm going to study. And then on studying this young man, I learned about his boxing background. So then it got deeper because I have a boxing background. My family is very well known, probably up until now, probably more well known for boxing than Muay Thai because of my older brother. But yeah, that really stuck out to me. Also giving this young man an edge. And there's a lot of discussion about boxing and Muay Thai, especially now with the 1FC generation, and the going back to the fundamentals of boxing. And really your last fight, young man, that left hand and left kick, those were your main weapons, and the rest was ring generalship, defense, scoring in the last 30 seconds of the round, scoring in the last half of the round, like rounds 3, 4, and 5. And, man, those were all really professional level boxing fundamentals, which I'm screaming all the time in the gym. So, yeah, hats off to you. And I really believe that the boxing training you're doing is benefiting your Muay Thai.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you could not – these other kids are only trained with maybe, you know, it's with one you know,
art.
striking art. And
Also, sorry, not to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
how's their boxing defense? Like,
yeah,
how's your mid-level Muay Thai going to block this high-level left cross or right cross? And a lot of them, the style starts failing on those fundamentals. They'll be doing all these different moves, but then it comes back to, what if you can't handle that hand speed on that jab and that hook? That opens the whole box up.
Well, and I loved how you know how to stay in the pocket. So, I mean, you get a lot of people just trying to evade the you know, moving around the ring.
Yeah.
The IKF loves forward pressure, so if you're moving back, it's likely a downfall on you. But when you know how to stay in the pocket and move your head, and then, you know, set up your shots with your hips, that's like that's boxing 101. And then you are able to throw a knee or an elbow while you're in that pocket, and it's great, you know. And then, you know,
So
then you get
Ezra,
to kick as he's stepping back.
was that the game plan coming in? Was it the left hand?
The whole time.
See, and you know what? I was calling the fight that night, and I was able to see it, and I'm sure everyone else did too. I think your opponent saw it too, but there's nothing really you can do when the hand speed and the timing are there. You know, because he knew the left was coming too.
And he was good. He was a good
extremely
opponent.
good.
Like you guys, I mean, I don't
Made a
know
great
if there's
fight.
plans to run that back, but that was a great fight to watch.
Yeah.
Man, this hot cocoa is good. Emerson.
Yeah. I think she put 2 in there.
Yeah,
because
'cause I'm pumped up.
The ratio is like
This is-
sweet.
It's going to help my weight cut.
That's all you need for dinner right there. I mean, just a bunch of sugar and a little bit of milk.
But can we go back? Where did the name come from? Ezra. Dad, can you explain? First of all, Dad, your name's not Ezra. On your Instagram, it's Louise Ezra. But it's really Louise, the dad of Ezra.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
That's what it is. Louise _, my son, Ezra.
Yeah, we had the stockings up here. It said Ezra, not Ezra, Ezra.
Dad,
and we realized
Ezra's
that his
dad.
name is Luis, not Ezra. So we had to do a little quick costume change and put
Ezra
Luis
as
on
a
there.
middle name is acceptable, though.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a great name. It's a cool name. I mean, it has an EZ, which is uncommon, and both, for whatever reason, rolls off the tongue well.
But, Dad, give us a little origin.
Yeah, well-
What about the name?
Yeah.
Well,
Why Ezra?
Well, I liked it growing up. I mean, it's like we said, we were talking about the religion earlier. It was the Bible I just liked the way that name sounded, Ezra. And then reading from it, he was very powerful. He was a protector. You know, he was very giving. So he was very respected also. So to me, it was like, this is what I'm going to name my kid one of these days. So that name was with me since before I even met his mom. You know, so I was like, when I have a kid, my name was, the name's already set.
Wow.
So pretty much saying yes or no. All right.
That's great. That's a great story.
It's a
Champ, what about the name? Can you tell us about your name? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. Actually, before he had an idea. He wanted to name me Honda because he used to race. Like
That's kind of fire.
That's hard.
Honda.
That's what he wanted to name me Honda.
Honda Velasquez.
A spoon
Let's
engine.
go. Yeah, type R.
No, it's in a Honda VTEC Velasquez.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It actually works. I mean, you know.
Hey, that's kind of a sick fight name.
Yeah, the VTEC.
The VTEC.
Honda.
Ezra, Honda VTEC.
Rooted legacy.
Velasquez.
Yeah, let's go.
It's hard.
Now, I got the name similar to you. I come from a Christian Bay Area family, and Ezra, one of the books in the Bible. And when I was younger, I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I hit about 6, I grew up in Dallas, Texas for a few years of my life, and no one could say my name right. And it's so easy. It's 4 letters.
They'd say
Ezra. And then a lot of people are Christian background, like, didn't they read this book? Like, they just skipped over. It's Ezekiel and Ezra and all the other E's. But, I didn't like it because it was unique. And I have a pretty good middle name. So I was like, Mom, Dad, let me switch. You know, my middle name's David, so I would have loved that. I still might go by that. But as I got older, I enjoyed the name Ezra more. It was more fitting. Also, it was interesting. Back in the 80s and the 90s, you would hear about like names that end with a vowel or more feminine. I always thought that was weird. That's a very Western way. But as I learned more and as I got older, it became more masculine because Ra's like the sun god of Egypt, you know, and Ezra is a very powerful name. And I think for me as an adult, it fits me well. You know, I like it a lot.
Yeah, for a while, when he was a baby, they would ask us, Ezra, is it a girl? I'm like, no, it's a boy.
Right.
You know, it's like, where'd you get that name? I mean, in Spanish, it's Ezras.
I like that.
It's Ezras or Ezra translated, you know?
Okay,
So,
yeah.
I mean, Ezra just, the way it just sounds is just, you know, I really liked it.
It's become more popular in this last generation.
got
I
a
mean,
little
you're
flavor on
older,
it.
but like I have several friends with babies and their friends that have named their kids Ezra. It's become more loved and liked, which is interesting. You know, what names are trendy?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
people
They always
started-
kind of coming back.
started like unique names with kids, you know,
Mhm.
like more rare names.
Yeah,
I used to run
it's
into
more
my
popular right now for sure.
my friends' grandparents and for the holidays or whatever, and they'd be, Ezra, are you Jewish? I say, no, I'm Irish. You know, but
Is Ezra a Jewish name?
Ezra's Ezra's actually Hebrew,
Yeah.
and it's one of the most common names from the older world, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Powerful. But yeah, it's nice to have another Ezra, and also a high-level champion in the Muay Thai scene.
He's all right.
We still get it confused though. Yeah, he's
He's okay.
trying to get him to 18.
Who's next on your list of people to fight?
I don't know. Well, my next fight, which is lined up, is on March. It's a tournament in Delaware. So
Oh,
The nationals? for
like
the-
a IFMA qualifier.
Tell us more about that. What card is that?
It's not like a card. It's a tournament. A tournament.
Is that the Team USA?
No.
It's for the Team USA. So it's like the Olympic qualifier kind
Yes, yes.
So that's what he's going for.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
sanctioned by USA Muay Thai.
USA Muay Thai.
Yes,
So
I
is
know
that like
which
the
one.
Arizona one, but just in Delaware?
This they're doing to build a national team that's going to go represent USA and fight the other international teams at the Pan Am Games?
Yeah, no, they're doing, actually, I think it's in 2018. They're trying to do it for the Olympics.
Oh, I see.
So
Oh,
at
'cause
2028.
next year they're gonna have 2028. They're gonna have Muay Thai in the games
But he's also doing, I mean, he
with
does,
full pads.
Yeah, I
It's
think he
gonna be-
does.
I can
yeah.
elbow to all that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
what
Olympic
he's-
style.
Yeah.
So full pads.
Full pads, headgear, elbow
High level
pads.
athletes.
Yeah, so
So
the
it's the
tournament.
elite only. I guess it's like elite levels.
Are the other countries going to have pros?
That's a tough one. You know, other countries have pros, and like California or the United States has the amateurs. You know, other countries don't have amateurs.
Are we going to have
Right.
pros?
That's a good point.
I think we do.
Because there, yeah, I remember the teams from the past. There would be a couple different classes, and there would be the pros, Justin, but they would fight with pads, and that they're fighting the other international pros. So you would see like Capitan and these high level ties, Superbon, and these guys in these Olympic tournaments.
I mean,
Yeah.
they should be. Right?
Yeah, and it just makes these dream matchups. You might get to see these guys on the same weekend, and because they're wearing the pads, they can fight several times.
So I think these guys are for, I think it's a certain age limit. I think it's to 17 for the nationals. I think it's the youth Pan Ams or the youth games for
Yeah,
them.
so
also.
it's this. If you win the tournament, you get to fight. We fight because last year they had it in Thailand for youth, but now for youth they're gonna have it in Dubai.
Okay.
Oh, that's
fight.
going to be crazy.
Damn, that would be a really cool traveling trip.
I'm always interested to see the team that we're able to put together, not only the athletes, but the coaching staff. Some years are stronger than others. And, you know, we go and we fight these other international teams, and I'm sure they have the same situations in their countries, but some countries support the international team more than ours, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I look at our international team, I'm like, that's not the strongest team we can have.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone that makes the team. Just as an old critic and an old coach, I always want to see us go and represent U.S. Muay Thai as good as it can be. But I think it's getting stronger, and the participation in the tournament is getting better, and American Muay Thai is getting better.
Yeah, so he did the WBC festival also in Thailand. So that's when he brought back the bronze medal. He went against Japan, which the kid from Japan had like 20 fights or something.
No, yeah, like 50.
Yeah, and then Ezra was in there with like 3 amateur Muay Thai fights.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
And
know?
he was fighting pro in Thailand even before the tournament.
Same
Yeah.
the age group was
Age
the
group,
same. though.
same weight. Yeah.
Wow.
But you were hanging.
Yeah.
You were in there.
I thought I won, but
Okay.
because since we're 13, we had no headshots. So
It was all.
I hit him in the face, and they deducted me a point. So that's how I lost.
Great experience, though.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, so was that your first like tournament style? Was that a tournament style?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it was.
international.
And that was your first one that you've
International.
done. How is it? How do you like the tournament style compared to just doing one fight?
I don't like tournament style. I don't like it at all. I don't like
it's
it.
it's kind of sucks, huh? Having to go
Yeah.
fight like right after, have to weigh in again. Did you have to
Yeah.
weigh in twice?
No, I actually had to win one time. Well, they had like a check weight the day before, and then you weigh in the actual day of.
So you still had to keep your weight moderately
Yeah.
at the same weight.
And what's it called? They're really strict about the weight too. If you're over by an ounce, you can't fight.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Ounce.
so a lot of people, when I got there, a lot of people were in sauna suits running around, and people were saying like the scales were off. So when I got on, I was over by 1 ounce, but I actually one of the coaches, he gave me another chance, and I made weight.
Okay. Well, at least it's an ounce. That's a lot better than a pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fights. Especially if you get injured, you check to kick or kick someone's elbow or knee, and then you have to fight through that little knot
Yeah.
on your elbow or your shin or something like that. That always sucks. What do you do for recovery since you're so young? I'm kind of interested in.
I just ice it.
Do you just yeah, right? I mean, you probably don't stretch very much.
I've
You're
never-
not
Dave's
doing,
hot chicken.
Yeah, right.
I've never had
Just
like a really big injury like that's really bad. I say like probably the worst. I messed up my wrist on my left hand actually, and for like 3 weeks. But that was like my only.
Put some Be Jolly on it or something.
Yeah, be jolly.
Yep.
We actually had some.
Do you guys have any Be Jolly?
Wig actually gave us a sample that he had, so he was using it for a while.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It definitely
It's the best stuff on the market for sure.
It really is.
Best stuff. And when
I
you're a
just
kid.
loaded up on they had a sale a couple of days ago, and I bought I loaded up. I got everybody stocking stuffers. So
But the kids, They don't need anything.
It smells so
They
good.
don't.
They don't. Like,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
didn't
do you
start using
stretch?
liniment till 20s.
Do you
Yeah.
stretch before you fight? Or
Yeah.
I mean, not fight, or like warm up or
Training,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like walks back and forth, and then I'm ready.
Yeah. He just takes his headphones off. He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
warmed up.
I'm over here with the back roller, going out, walking around.
Oh, yeah.
Stretching.
I mean, how old are you, Luis?
38.
Yep. So, and you have a fight coming up in February, right?
Yeah, fighting at All Out, February 22nd.
Okay. That's cool. And who's
Well,
your...
let me stop you right there. We'll return right after this quick commercial break.
Children, today we'll be reading the best Christmas ever. Our story begins with
Christmas Crunch! Crunchy sweet berry stars, stockings, trees.
And these, my new Jingle Bell Rocks. Just pour some in and stir till your milk turns red.
Rockin' red.
It's a tasty part of a balanced holiday breakfast.
This crunch is only here for Christmas, and that's one reason it's
the best Christmas ever.
And we're back.
So the fight this February, what's down All Out, and it's in Stockton?
Stockton, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be on that card as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Always a good card Nico puts down there in Stockton, and that'll be a fun one. Is it just you out of Rooted Legacy, or you guys got more?
So far, I think we got 3.
Yeah.
3, nice.
Yeah.
Are you already matched up with your opponent?
Yeah, I'm already matched up. I'm already locked in. Going up about 5 pounds this time. So
Okay.
the last time
that's
I
quite
fought,
a bit.
I fought at 165. This last time when I fought with Ezra on the same card, that was always my dream. When I started fighting, I said, man, one day hopefully, and I'm gonna stop
And on Father's Day weekend.
on Father's Day weekend.
Oh, you guys fought on
Rising
the same-
Stars?
Rising
Oh, that's
Stars,
so
yeah.
cool. That's really cool.
But something is like before I started training, he told me if I ever fight and if we ever fight together, he'll stop fighting. So when we both got matched, like when we both had a fight, I called him. I was like, "Are you gonna retire?" Like I didn't want him to.
So
Yeah.
no retirement.
So, no retirement.
All right.
That's awesome, though. I wonder how many times that's been done.
Probably not a whole
You know.
hell of a lot. I mean, the age gap is tough. So you guys you clearly had him young enough.
Yeah.
How old were you when
I was
you had Ezra?
24.
Well, okay, yeah, that's not too
24.
young, but 38's old for fighting.
Yeah.
I'm 35 in a couple weeks, and I feel like I'm.
No, I feel it now. Sometimes I'm like, that didn't used to hurt before, but I can feel it.
Have you had any injuries, like knee injuries or anything that's kind of set you back for a little bit?
Nothing. I got hurt more when I used to skateboard.
Oh yeah.
No,
that doesn't surprise me.
I used to be a sponsored skateboarder, back
Oh,
in
yeah?
the day.
Oh damn!
Wow,
Okay.
did
Talk
not
about that a
know.
little bit. Where were you skating at the time?
Back then, I was skating used to live in Central California,
Okay.
Tulare, Visalia area, and we used to skateboard out there.
Wow.
Nice.
So I did it from my 8th grade year to actually when I graduated high school. So I for about 8 years.
Who were you sponsoring?
It was just a
reputable?
local, just
Okay,
a local board
guys.
shops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then we had our own little skate team. It was about like 8 of us. We called it Team Verkins. It was all my friends, pretty much from every ethnic background you could think of, and we're all together every day.
Yeah, Visalia.
Skate gang.
The skate
What-
gang, yeah.
What was the shop called that you guys?
Onshore. It was Onshore Board Shop.
Onshore Board Shop. Shout out to Onshore.
What
Are they
type
still
of-
around?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
This was back in like 2001, 2002. I
Damn,
believe.
that's cool. Yeah, back when skating was
Yeah, it was
way.
awesome.
Well, I mean, it's still popular, but it was definitely like you didn't have as many things to do back then as a kid. So skating was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I was skate
especially in
from,
Visalia.
Yeah, skate from 3 to 9. Every day, Monday through Friday, like I was going to the gym.
Nice. That's cool.
We didn't have cell phones, so the sun was going down. It was time for me to go home.
Yeah. Little local skate park there, or did you guys just ride
You know
street
what?
kind of
It
whatever?
was all street, but with the little group that we had, we all actually got together and we would throw little skate demos, and we were raising money to provide a skate park for our town, because our town is really small.
Mhm.
And till this day, there's actually a park because of the money we raised and everything that we came up with as a team,
That's
as
cool.
a group that we had.
Very cool.
Skateboarding's an interesting thing because it used to be very counterculture and very rebellious and illegal.
Yeah.
And then in the last, 15 to 20 years, it's become very popular with all different kids. They have skate parks, they have skate camps, skate lessons. In my generation, it was more like graffiti. It was or surfing. It was very subculture.
We were getting yelled at and kicked out of every single place we wanted to go skate. And they had no choice but to build us a skate park.
And you know what? Martial arts saved me from skating, if you will. Because the skating we were doing was kind of like hanging out on the block. It was like street gang activity.
Smoking weed, selling weed, getting cigarettes from adults.
But
we're skating.
But you know what? I see the culture now. And the way... the way that skating is at the parks, and there's parents, and it's like a completely different thing than when I was doing it. It's much more family friendly. I remember we used to pull up to a skate spot, and if there was other skaters there, you weren't allowed to skate, or whoever was the dominant crew, almost like surfing. Where now everyone's got to share the same complex.
That's how we were too. When we would get there, they're like, "Oh, what team are you from?" You know, it's like, all right, well, let's play. You know, we would go like our best skaters against their best skaters. You know, and like we would have to drive 30 minutes to the closest skate park we had. Because we would only skate street. But when we go to the park, I was like, oh, this is a whole different game.
Totally different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you
it's
know
more
what?
Polished.
The skill level's higher than ever. It's kind of the same thing, you know, anyone sharing information. Us staying segregated from the other skate groups kept us from learning. And then once they opened up these skate parks, everyone started seeing each other's work. And then the level went up. Kind of like Muay Thai.
Yeah. So he tried to skate, too, for a while. He went for a whole year trying to skateboard. So I was trying to teach him what I knew. They had a little group in Salinas, actually, that was to go skateboard every day. The same thing. So he actually gave it a shot. That's why I bought another board and I started skating with him again for like a whole year straight.
I was going to ask if you
still
skate a little bit and you get like a little pool board or something.
No, actually, I ride street skateboards. You know.
Nice.
7.5, still the same ones. You
Hell
know?
Yeah. Do you? Where do you guys live?
In Concord.
Concord. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever rode any parks around here and like Power Inn or?
No, I've only gone to the skate park in Walnut Creek and Concord.
Oh, okay.
Up in this area now. But
the Power Inn skate park in Sacramento is like.
When I was growing up,
amazing.
My thing was like, oh, I want to go to Woodward.
Yeah, which one?
The one I think it's up here.
Boreal.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that one. Like Pennsylvania was like the original one.
Is that where they used to have the one on Transworld magazine would come out?
Yeah, Pennsylvania was like backward, but there's Woodwards all over the world now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like when we were growing up. Well, like, I mean, you're just a couple years older than me. That was the place to go.
Yeah.
They had like the bike park, then the skateboard park, and then the snow park and stuff like that. Yeah. That's. I never went to Woodward, but I was a big snowboarder and skateboarder back when I was a kid.
I tried to snowboard, but it didn't work. It didn't work in my favor. Just remember, caught ice, went forward.
Yeah, it doesn't translate from snow to skate.
And it costs a fortune. Skateboard, just you need your setup and you're good.
That's that's a hell of a lot cheaper.
But can we talk about? Let's talk about the gym more. Rooted Legacy. I'm interested in this gym, in kind of how the gym came to be. I know it's a fairly new gym, although the guys behind it have been in the game for a while. Can you guys speak on the Rooted Legacy gym?
Yeah. Well, when I started training, we actually just started at Combat Fitness under George Tutsui. And Gabe was already Gabe was already there. Gabe was with George for about 20 years. So it was one of Gabe's dreams was to open up his own gym.
Gabe David,
yeah. And when I started training, like me and him became really close, and we was like, man, one day I'm gonna open a gym, and then all these sister gyms that we have, we're gonna call it Rooted, and he's gonna call it the Legacy, because it's, Ganyao, George, the Vertex guys that he was around with, so he's like, oh, that's why he just wants to leave the legacy and carry it on. So that's where our roots came from. So he's pretty much, the roots mean Pacific Ring, Combat Fitness, and then Rooted, the Fairtex.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So is it, how many owners?
I think it's 3, I believe. It's 3 of them.
That's great. And then how long has the gym been open?
Going on a year.
Wow.
January 11th, we're going to have our 1-year anniversary.
Wow, congratulations, Rooted Legacy. Great Muay Thai coming out of that gym. And it's always nice to see the legacy continue. It's always nice to see new guys, but it's great to see the old guys that have been in the game opening their own spot and continuing it on. And then, the Tetsui And also the Fairtex lineage is really deep Bay Area stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Ganya was George Tsutsui coach, and then eventually became Gabe's coach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Ganya was Sir's coach, George Tutsui's coach.
Ah,
And then Gabe, actually, when he was in his last camps, he started going to Pacific Ring. So Ganya was coaching Gabe for his last 4 fights, I believe.
one of the most memorable fights I went to when I was young was at Strikeforce, and it was George Tetsui versus Danny Still from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I was probably 15 or 16
you were
years
there?
old. I was there. My brother fought on the undercard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I remember that fight. And Tetsui, Danny Still was a leg kick guy.
Yeah.
And was going to break your legs. That's all he would do. And very entertaining, very tempered. And Tetsui was doing this counter where he would check and jump and counter with a right head kick.
Yeah.
So like a jumping check kick, almost like a Dasanchai kick, but off a block. And he did it a couple times and won the fight. It was a great fight. And I was staying in the same hotel with all the fighters because my brother was fighting. And, I'm 17, 18, wet behind the ears, walking through the hallway. And here comes Sugarfoot Cunningham, Danny Still and his other trainer, and Danny Still's legs messed up. He's hobbling through. A lot of people don't see fighters after the match, but they get out of the ring, they're doing fine. But a few hours later, the swelling and the pain sets in, so they're hobbling around. So here these guys come hobbling down, and I'm just like bowing and like, and Danny Still was like, oh, you Howley. Like, he wanted to fight me. Like, he was mad at the decision, and he was looking to, and I was just like, oh, champion. But yeah, he wanted to beat up the tall guy.
Yeah, so George's background, he was actually Taekwondo.
And
So
boxing.
that's boxing. So that's why he did a lot of the axe kicking when he was fighting.
Different era of kickboxing.
Yeah.
And, man, those Strikeforce shows were outstanding. Like, I seen the Fight Night at the Tech in those shows, and those Strikeforce shows are still bigger.
Yeah, those kickboxers back then had a lot of Taekwondo background,
Yeah.
and it was wild to see.
Well, that's when it all happened. The Muay Thai generation in the Bay Area started in the 90s. The whole Fairtex team came in the 90s. So they had to mix it with those other styles.
Right.
And we got to see that go down, too. We got to see the international styles against Muay Thai. And then here we are 30 years later with NorCal Muay Thai. The other styles had a hard time keeping up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muay Thai took over.
I mean, it's the most fun striking to watch, in my opinion. I mean, you get everything you want on like the MMA side, the stand-up striking, but it's like you get the elbows and the knees beautifully mixed into the kicking and punching, and and the clinch. The clinch is
But they fought
awesome
each
to
other.
watch.
They were doing challenge fights, and then the fighters from the other styles had to face the Thai stylists, and the Thai stylists were the most effective.
Mess your legs up.
The leg
Those
kickers.
low leg kicks. So
But it was a blessing because it caused everyone else to evolve or die. The style got better. You got to see what the truth was.
die. Skate or die. Muay Thai or die.
Yeah.
Has anybody done that? Muay Thai or die?
I think they have.
Yeah.
Somebody's had to.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let
no
me write
Muay
it
Thai.
down. Let me write it down.
Right? Yeah.
No Muay Thai, no
Straight-
life.
you
Just
heard it
parody
here
Canelo.
Right. I'm going to go back here. Let me write this idea down really quick. Muay Thai, no life.
So Luis, we have to know. You're the man behind Only Dads.
Yeah,
Take us there.
Tell me
What?
about it.
Yeah.
Because I tried looking up on some stuff, and it just looks like there's not a whole lot of like description of what Only Dads is.
So
lay it out.
The way it started was I was at work, watching Instagram.
OnlyFans?
Hey, somebody had to say it.
So I was actually watching one of my friends, Javier from Chayo Muay Thai in Richmond, and I was watching them, and then he said something about, man, just a couple of old men and old dads, beating each other up in the ring. And then I was like, man, what if I start something and we call it Only Dads? And it was just an idea, and I reached out to Javier and I told him, hey, He's like, because of you, you know, I got this idea. What do you think? And he's like, man, I love it. And me and Javier had only seen each other at the PKBs. We had never really met in person or anything. And so when I told him that, I was like, what do you think about this idea? He's like, I love it. And I was like, man, we should have like a sparring event with dads, only dads. And we'll just call it that, only dads. So at the time I was teaching at Arena Training Center in Livermore. And the owner, Lorraine, I came up to her and like she was so supportive. And I asked her, look, this is my idea. What do you think? She's like, I love it. Let me make you a logo. And right off the back, she's like, oh, we could do this. And I'm going to send you this. And then you come up with your own design. And then we'll make it. And I'm like, okay. So that's where our original logo came from, was because she helped me out, that idea that we got.
So what about Only Dads? Like when you put on it's an event that you do, and it's a sparring event.
It's a sparring event to get. So pretty much, like I always say, it's.
And did you do through different gyms or
Yeah,
just?
so we get a lot of gyms that host us. So what we do is like we try to promote like the mental health. From there's a lot of fighters that don't fight anymore, and they're like just laid back at home. Or there are guys that always wanted to fight but they never fought, and they just train. So we have a lot of supporting from a lot of the guys like that, you know, that are going through it, and they're like, oh, you know, this is so fun because they get to bring their kids, their wives, everybody's welcome. But initially was that, you know, we promote the mental health stuff, you know, because a lot of people don't talk about it, and that's something that was big for me. Because when I was going through some stuff for myself, I was like, I wish I had an outlet, you know. So when we do that, it's like we get gyms that host us, and we bring a lot of exposure to the gym. A lot of gyms already have the exposure, but we bring a bounce house, you know, we bring tacos, you know, we provide everything, and I just want everybody to come in and have a good time for us for about 2 hours.
That's cool.
You know, so.
And then you just do that at different. How often are you
Honestly, when we did our first one, Lorraine let us use her gym, so she's like, you guys are more than, we can always use it. So that's how it is. Like, say if you would call me like, hey, you want to host one? Sure. So we'll come in here, we'll have everybody spar here, but you know, whatever money we make, we kick something out to the gym for letting us borrow the gym, because you know, the insurance and all that other stuff too.
It's a great idea, and there's so many dads involved in the Muay Thai community, and so many dads that are training and active, and like you said, not fighting anymore, but we still spar every week, and the camaraderie, the fellowship, we've been building that in Muay Thai, so it's great to see another promotion like Only Dads doing the same thing, because that's really making Muay Thai shine. It's making it grow. I'm talking about the collaborations, you know, us coming together, and that's just another opportunity to come together and communicate and share the skills and spread the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, seeing sometimes
I need to come.
Yeah,
because I'm a granddad, so that means I need to
Only
spar
granddad.
2 times at the same time. We're gonna spar 2 guys at the same time.
So that's what I mean. And then we made the Only Moms at the same time, you know. So I just covered the Only Dads and then put the heart in the moms.
Is there only moms?
Yeah. So I've had 3 events for the moms.
Okay.
But now that we're doing the Only Dads, I just say, you know, everybody's welcome. You know, you're a mom or not, or you're a dad or you're not.
That way you're not splitting it up between 2.
Just everybody's welcome. You know, so.
But I think the dads, because how am I going to spar a mom?
Yeah.
You know.
They're fighters.
I know, but you know.
I know, sometimes, you know.
The matchups.
Depending on how good they are, man.
You know, so like my
feisty.
My thing is like I've talked to, you know, Nico, and we're thinking of doing like an all-out dad promotion event with
like real amateur fights.
Real amateur fights.
Yeah, why
that would
not?
be cool.
There's enough active dads.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun like promotion to kind of just market.
Yeah.
The marketing on that alone could be really fun.
So it's all-out dads, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that me and Nico talked about, and he's just like, find the matchups, and then we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Bring the kids.
Everybody wearing Only Dads shorts.
Let the kids sit in the crowd and cry.
Yeah.
Buy them some popcorn. Dad, leg kick KO, no problem.
Get the mom's cortisol levels spiked up high.
You know, so it's cool, man. I like seeing, you know, the Only Dads brand. You know, I've seen guys wearing them in Thailand already.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
gym owners in Florida have them. Like there's like all over the states, all over the world right now where people are buying the stuff, you know, that I have. Seeing it is so surreal to me still. You know, like wow, like me and Javier did that. So shout out to Javier for being my number one. You know, so actually Javier's the one that runs our Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so he always says, oh, there's people that, you know, they think it's me, but it's you, or it's you and me. You know?
Yeah.
But it's both of us, and like I said, like it's like this is for both of us, so it's me and Javier that run Only Dance.
Very nice.
Well, Jay, we're going to have to go do one.
Yeah, we should go check it out, go do an event, and then have one here at Rockland.
When's the next one?
Right now it looks like January 25th at Ant Dog's gym in Gilroy.
Okay. Nice.
Go get some garlic fries.
Yeah, so I mean that's how it works. You know, you let me borrow your gym. Like we bring the vibe here. You know, I'll set up outside, cook some tacos up. You know, our sponsor, actually, it's really sponsors Ezra too. Is Taco Zone Chai.
We could put the blow up in here.
Oh yeah,
this would be a fantastic location. I've done a couple events here, and this place is great.
This place is awesome. Yeah, and there's it's a good parking lot full of food and other things. So, but if you bring the tacos. But so Ezra, I got a question for you. A little side question. What? So you're going to be 16 soon.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an issue, or what are you gonna be driving? What do you want? It's Santa's coming to town, so.
A Chrysler.
Chrysler
300.
Take us there. Let's get into it.
Have you heard the Cat Williams joke about that?
No, actually not.
Yeah, you gotta hear that one.
That's just your car?
And cue the Cat Williams joke.
You gotta learn to be grateful. If God done bless you with a Chrysler 300, be happy you got a Chrysler 300. Stop walking around talking shit, talking about, nigga, I got it because it looked just like a Phantom. No, nigga. It looked like a Chrysler 300. The book the parties, it do look like a Phantom until a Phantom pull up. Then you just in that motherfucker. This is bullshit. I don't even want to be on this street, nigga. I don't even want.
They're like, that ain't no Bentley. That's a Chrysler 300.
I remember that one.
So what is it about the Chrysler 300? Are you going to put some 12s or 15s in the back and black it all out?
Maybe, yeah, that's my plan, like blacking it all out, Like once I get older, maybe drive it to high school.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
your parents will love that because driving your ass to high school.
I was like a little mini
sucks.
Arion, because Arion had a Chrysler 300. I was like, oh, that's where it's from, huh?
Yeah.
Inspirations.
Yeah.
So that's his goal, 20, be like Arion fighting RWS, at 21, 20
Yeah,
years
because
old.
Arion, he started when I started. The same age, same time.
Okay. What are some of your hobbies besides Muay Thai and fighting? And do you like?
I used to play soccer and baseball.
Okay.
Let's hold off on that. We'll return right after this commercial break.
Just a second, Tiger.
Dad? Dad! It's Santa Claus!
Hey, so it is. It's great. Santa can. Let's go. Bring it home for the holidays.
Welcome back. So, sports outside of Muay Thai. Take us there. What were you doing?
Well, before Muay Thai, I started training in 2019. Well, and then I had my actual fight in 2020. But before that, I was just playing, like soccer, baseball. But I was still little, a little younger. So.
Were you a big soccer fan?
Not really.
Do you follow it now?
Yeah, kind of. But I think I like baseball more than.
You follow
soccer.
Baseball more.
Yeah.
You guys are Dodgers, huh?
That's right.
Well, congratulations on a great World Series.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
We just had Steve Sachs on.
Yeah, he was an old Dodgers.
Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I fought him. Ezra, did you watch that one?
What?
I fought Steve Sachs. Yeah, he retired from the A's, and he was training with my coach, my high school coach. And when I turned 18, we did a smoker, and I caught him. I caught him with the teep, settled him right down.
Oh, wow.
Teenage putting it on. But yeah, lots of great baseball stories. He was good friends with Bo Jackson, so I got to hear all about that stuff. Do you know Bo Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. He is a fan. He knows the old generation.
Yeah, that was a fun podcast. That was having him on. That was
I didn't know you followed him.
Right before, it was just one of those things, and we were the same weight, and it was a weird matchup though because he was like 36 and I was 18, but I was this size at 18, so I still had him.
Oh, you've been that tall since 18.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just a little thin 18-year-old?
Right?
He looked
thin. I weigh 220.
Shoot.
Thin.
That's pretty thin for that tall.
No. Well, we can measure, but yeah, nothing thin.
So when I started training, I was 237.
237?
I used to weigh 237.
Yeah, that's insane.
Training.
Well, my
that's
brother.
pretty big because you're only like 5'9".
5'9".
But let's get
Give me that extra inch, please.
My brother, Eric, the champ, he was 6'4", but he fought at 160.
What? Dang.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, that's 6%
around
body
at
fat.
1.6.
I mean, we are taller, but yeah, that's
160 at 6'4".
Yes.
Yeah, those
like Tommy Hearns.
When you watch his fights, his trunks are look huge on him because they're so long.
No, that was the style. We used
Back
to
then, the
use
shorts were different.
No, for boxing we use a Mexican style sequined shorts, and they go to the knee. You don't need to show your skinny thighs. Muay Thai, more guys would wear long shorts, but it's a rule in Muay Thai they can only come halfway down your thigh.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that, but you got to be able to see the target.
Yeah. Now, as you know, learning the official stuff also, your what do you call it? Your
undergarments?
Your
underwear? Your chonies?
Your tights. There's another name for
it.
Oh,
compression.
Your compression shorts.
Yeah,
So your compression shorts have to be hiding. Yeah. You can't show them, so you actually be able to show your whole thigh.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So they have to be tucked in.
So it can't have that.
It's like Ezra. Ezra just rolls them all the way to the top whenever he wants.
You got to be able to see the weapon and the target.
Yep.
Ezra shows the hip.
Yeah.
Just roll it all the way up.
Yeah.
Gives it the style points.
Yeah, we always thought that was interesting, the garb that you're allowed to wear. But yeah, in boxing, a lot of the boxers prefer the longer ones. A lot of them got thin legs, though, because there's no need to carry unnecessary weight on your legs. You know. But yeah, part of being a high-level professional striker is you need to be in your weight class. And yeah, you guys got no business being in 200-pound weight class with me. I weigh 200 pounds on cabbage and club soda. No creatine, no protein. We really weigh this, and it's about your skeleton too, right? It ain't about the big muscle that you're building on top of your bones. You got to have the bones to weigh 200 pounds. And a lot of guys are just pumped up. They're 160, pumped up, overweight at 200 pounds. We're like starving at 200 pounds.
Man. Yeah, you can tell the guys who definitely could be losing some weight, a little swollen on those French fries, not the creatine, it's the salt and the grease.
But yeah, the part of being a high level is almost like a horse jockey. You got to be in your weight class. Even going up one weight class. And I mean, we just saw what we see. Raja World Series. We saw Ritwata, which we've been watching for years, and we saw him fight one of the great undefeated, almost unbeaten Danny Rodriguez. And it was a great fight. What did we see? We saw two of the top guys in the division, but did we? Because Ritwata moved up in weight. So we had to pick Rodriguez for that all day because Ritwata is not that weight, but they pushed him up. He's been lifting weights. He looks a lot more muscular. Same like Tawanchai. I've been commenting on that. But that's to get certain matchups. They need to feel these matchups in these shows, or they would have just kept Ritwata in his normal weight class. They have to build these fights just like they have to build fights here. But yeah, how come Danny didn't move down?
I don't know.
Right, because he's the favorite. They had to get an opponent. They got to sell the fight, But
that's why George was like. Huh.
But yeah, Ritwata, always the underdog in that fight, and still amazing. To have him do it 10 pounds lighter.
Ezra, do you watch a lot of the Thai fights? Are you up to date with some of the professional fighters in the stadiums? And
yeah, some of them. I'd say like on RWS, like someone that I actually enjoy watching is Joe Ryan.
Yeah, hell yeah. You've been talking about him for a while.
Yeah, really good international.
He's been posting about him for years.
The Raja show for me is my favorite show right now because you're getting the traditional 5-round Muay Thai. You're getting a mixture of the high-level Yad Muay Thai and the international foreigners fighting. Not all of them, though. You know, you're seeing a split. It would be nice to get some of the 1FC guys back in the mix there.
Yeah.
Like, let's see Ritwat, fighting some of these 1FC guys. Have Eddie Abasolo go into the Raja World Series and fight.
The small gloves, man, changed.
Yeah.
Changed
Yeah.
Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine seeing Haggerty go and like fight in the stadiums or
I
something.
love how
like that.
Haggerty fights, man.
I mean,
my
he's a
favorite.
fun fight. I mean, that last one.
We were
against,
there. We went.
You were
crazy.
there?
Yeah, in Denver.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was in Denver. The couple of the guys in Emerson went over there to.
They're
to
not
watch
gonna
that.
though. The one card pays so much, and these guys have really excelled past that level. Unfortunately, the guys that are fighting for the big purses in 1FC, they've been through the stadiums. They're on a different level, but it would be a dream to see those 5 rounds
be.
in the stadium with the
Big
Thai
gloves,
rules.
10 ounce.
Yeah.
10 ounce.
Michael Savas is probably my favorite.
Savas.
I mean, there's so many of them, but Michael Savas is a fun one to watch. I
Yeah.
like watching that guy.
Let's see that matchup.
Right.
Let's see Haggerty Savas
That'd be good. That would
with
be good.
5-round with gloves.
Yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
That would be. I mean, that would be a dope fight.
Yeah. They were talking about Savas versus Rotang. 5 rounds with gloves. There's so many possibilities
Yeah.
and big names. But, yeah, you have to have the big names in the sport, just like here. You're seeing that in all levels of the sport. The thing we love about NorCal is there's so much talent, there's so many names, and it's not just the guys that have been fighting and on the scene for 10 years, it's the new guys. And that's one reason I wanted to bring on Ezra and represent the teenage generation, because that's the future.
Yeah.
And
They're the fun ones to watch
and
because
NorCal is deep, so we're
These
going to have
kids
no
are so
problems.
good.
We're going to have no problems with matchups or having guys move weight classes to make a certain fight, because NorCal is loaded.
yeah.
There's a lot of talent up here.
In the kids, we see that we're scouting the PMT, we're watching, and the pool is getting deep. More gyms, more fighters, and more guys that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Ezra, congratulations on becoming the new youth face for Muay Thai Beast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they. I just heard about that. I was talking to Berto earlier today, and he said that you're sponsored. You're on the team. How's that feel?
Feels good. I've been wanting to for a minute, but since Noah, since he was on it, I couldn't get on the team. But
Yep.
now he left.
They only do one teen athlete at a time?
I think so. I'm pretty. Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know. Have you met Chad? Have you met the owner behind Muay Thai Beast?
No. So Chad, he didn't want me, or I don't think he, or not. He didn't want me, but like he wasn't really sure for me to get sponsored because of Noah. But then I know Alberto. He's been wanting me on the team for a minute, and he's been trying to convince him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean,
Chad-
it seems like a great fit.
Chad lives back east,
heard,
and,
yeah.
and he's looking at things. He was living here for a while, but then, he moved back east. Great guy, really loves and supports Muay Thai. But, Berto's kind of his local contact, and Berto really knows the inside and outside of the scene. But if they didn't like you last year, they got to love you this year.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know?
you're
if they
a
had
great-
doubts, you clean that all up. But I
Hell
don't think it
yeah.
was that. I think it was just there's so many athletes, and which one?
yeah, that's what I was. I didn't really mean that. He didn't want me, but like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
wouldn't.
pulling on sponsors, to be able to put another person on your sponsor payroll, it's probably a monetary sponsorship along with some, goodies, and you got your shorts and all your
Oh, yeah.
apparel and stuff like that.
I'm
So
excited for that.
Size
Yeah.
large.
Yeah, so
So
how
he's
does
asking
that
for size large now.
how does that feel?
what? No, was that for you? Yeah.
Ezra, you've gotten all these awards and all these accolades. Some guys go their whole career without winning a belt or getting a sponsor or anything, and you've gotten that right in the beginning of your career. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, it feels good, Like when I first started, I think until like this year, I started getting sponsors because I think this is the most active I've been in Muay Thai, so I started getting known a lot, in California, Muay Thai.
But what's it do for you, like in your mind, in your heart, like the recognition, the
Do you know what it means
success.
to get somebody that to for an ad- I don't know, like adult splain. Do you know what it takes for an adult to spend their money on a kid like you? You know, but I mean, it is. You have a you know, somebody who is putting their time, money, and effort into seeing you succeed.
Yeah.
And you know, as the athlete, the respect that you give back to your sponsor and the recognition that you provide for them, the words that you speak about them, you know, that's all stuff that that as an athlete, sponsored athlete, you should know and take into consideration. So, not that you need to answer that or anything like that, but it's not a question of what you're doing. But how does that make you feel to have that responsibility?
It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good. You know, like people are like, you know, putting time and money into me. You know.
Yeah. Wanting to see you get out there underneath the lights and looking good.
Do you think the recognition, do you think it helps you, or does it create more pressure? Do you feel pressure?
Not really. Actually, no.
You know, and this is one thing that I always admire from him too, is that, you know, like the day he won the belt, he got it, he won, and then he went and go put it in the bag. He didn't walk around the whole show like strapped up on his back, and he said, you know, it was just another fight.
There's going to be plenty more of those.
You know, so even when he won the M-Tag belt, I was like, oh, you're going to go to the store with it? He's like, no, I don't need to. You know, so that's something that I really admire from him. It's like he knows, we know that he's good, but it doesn't.
He knows how to be humble already.
Yeah, he doesn't change. It doesn't change who he is or how he is with everybody else. You know, everybody's treated the same way. You know, so that's something that I very love about him too.
That's good work on you, parents as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ezra,
that shows, and it backs that name up.
Yeah.
Ezra, you don't want to wear the strap around to the store?
No.
Why? Why?
I think it's too much.
Talk to us.
What about the Chrysler 300?
Yeah.
What about the blacked out 3?
That I'll drive that around. But I say with the belts, I don't know, cause when I won the M-Tag belt, the kid I fought after the fight, we went to the doctor. He was crying, he was crying. So I didn't want to walk around with it. You know, I felt bad for him. Not like, yeah.
You just weren't trying to rub it in his face, right?
No.
When you know, kick a guy while he's down.
Well, yeah, because I went up to his coach. I was like, it was a good fight. It was really good. So, yeah, I don't really like doing all of that.
Well, that's great sportsmanship at a young age.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of that stuff, you know, we see that in martial art. Not just Muay Thai, but you see it in other martial arts and sports. And, yeah, that's a real sign of a champion.
Especially with the UFC going on, you know, a lot of people watch that and either they like it or they hate it. I'd say more often than not, you hear people not liking the Conor McGregor kind of style of shit talking and rubbing it in your face afterwards. And
yeah, that's how everyone wants. In the UFC, that's how everybody tries to act now.
Yeah, and Muay Thai is not that. I mean, that's why you see things like the Wai Kru and Ramoy in between, and it's got that little bit of delicateness to the show and to our extremely violent martial art.
Yeah, but it's funny because he's very respectful in the ring too, right? So before he went into boxing, he would always tap the glove.
It's different because in
tap
boxing,
the glove.
It is different, right?
And his boxing coach was like, "Stop doing that shit." You know, he wants to beat you up.
Yeah,
stop tapping his glove.
Every single time I try to touch it, they'll be like just stare.
It's like the streets in boxing.
Yeah, they're not here to touch the gloves with me or nothing.
It's like, be nice after, beat them up inside, be nice after.
Now, there's you can see the involvement of martial arts in Muay Thai, even at a sport level compared to boxing. In boxing, there's no martial art ethics that say you have to behave in a certain way. To them, it's all part of the competitiveness of the sport, the intimidation, the mugging, the trash talking, even that. I've seen glasses thrown at weigh-ins and trying to rattle cages, and you see Ali and guys from the past kind of known for these kind of tactics, and everyone knows I've been known to use a little bit of them without yelling.
Oh, yeah.
But Muay Thai, that is not involved because of the culture and the respect. But now in the modern era, you're kind of seeing a push into that. And that's a good topic. Do we want that in Muay Thai? The trash talking and
I liked Cy Hansen's little social media blurb. That was pretty cool. That was hard, and it does, it's not
rare.
Very rare, and especially in the amateurs. And it wasn't like he was really trash talking. He was just like, "What's up? You said you want to fight me, but we've never been matched up. Every time that I go, every time we have the opportunity, you back out."
It was funny when
he called out like 2 guys.
Yeah,
one
fight for WBC.
And then one posted him and called Cy his son. I was like,
yeah. Wait your turn, son.
Well, you know what?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see those fights. If that's the real talk, then Cy wants it. So let's see it.
Yeah.
To me,
the people want it.
To me, what Cy did was calling someone out. Whenever you speak on someone's name, but obviously they had history. But also Cy, I thought that was a very smart application and usage of social media.
Absolutely.
And he did it without
Marketing.
name calling. There was no name calling or any of that involved. There was no disrespect to the character.
Which is even better.
And there is some dodging and political stuff that happens in Muay Thai to keep matchups from happening. So Cy was just pointing on that. Like, how are you getting this national level fight when we've been trying to fight for the last 2 years? Also, you guys know I titled Cy as the top 160 in the country. So that kind of put all the other guys fighting for these 160s on scene. Like, who is the top guy? And Cy has a lot of claim to that throne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely does. He's a great fighter to watch, man. That fight with him and David was
really
what a step up for David. But Cy just did what he what he does.
I underestimated David. I didn't really think he was in do
what he did.
Yeah, what he did, but he did really good.
He definitely came with the underdog. I guess I might be kind of partial to him. He's a friend of mine, but and when I've worked with him, there was a level of I noticed his skill level where I hadn't felt this before, and my clinch is my strong suit, and clearly he's bigger than me, but I clinched with him, and it was like I couldn't do anything. Yeah. He had tricks and smoothness, and he I coming from the jiu-jitsu background, you learn a lot of the push and pull, counterweight, and so clinching helps with that background, but he just destroyed all that. So but yeah, he's
it was a really good fight.
It was a great fight. He's a tough fucking guy. And I think, he's been the fight before, we saw him, kind of get a little more technical with his fighting and not just kind of tractor pressing forward. He was using his kicks and stuff. And then, but yeah, this one was Cy. I want to see it run it back, but I don't know if he'll have the opportunity because Cy's kind of going up, up and onward.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting tactical fight. Again, another one I called, so I got to see every blow of the fight. And Cy just showed his experience in that one. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to talk on it, Dave didn't get his leg kicks going until middle of the fight. He was looking for a big shot to the chin, and Cy was super elusive, tall, and not much of the fight happened in the clinch. And Cy was able to land that right hand on that southpaw target throughout the fight. And you got to see kind of the end of the fight, too. The end of the Muay Thai fight is so important, even though here it's round by round judging. But when you're watching a 5-rounder, watch the 3, 4, and 5. Totally. Those are the big value.
And he was really putting it on him. No,
he came back.
I mean, long
it was
teeps
like you said, it was a good battle. And him coming down, he's still the champ at 165. He came down to make it interesting at 160, which you got to give him points for that, for just the game. A lot of guys are whining about making this weight, or I don't want to fight this guy. David Sally fights anyone.
Yeah. He does.
And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Lego my ego.
No, Lego my ego.
No, that's Santa's ego.
You always eat the cookies, so you can have your Lego, my ego. The card says Santa.
And we're back. So we just had the end of the year awards. I mean, they're still going on, but a couple days ago we had the 2024 Fight Culture. Shout out Marissa and Fight Culture. Those were a lot of fun to watch. And young man, you came off with Junior Amateur Muay Thai Fighter of the Year. How does that feel?
It felt good.
Now, did you know you were gonna? Did you know that was gonna happen? Did you know you were nominated for that?
Yeah.
I know you were nominated because we all voted, but was it a surprise to get nominated for it? There's so many kids out there.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was like a lot of kids. Everybody who was on there.
I should say youth. I don't want you.
Yeah, a lot of the youth people that were also on there. They all were also really good.
I saw the video you posted on your social media. You guys were sparring or training, and you guys had the video up on the screen. That's cool.
We were sparring.
That's cool.
Also, they came out with a couple different rankings, and you were lower on the rankings.
I was number 2.
You were number 2, which they were kind of doing them by who was in the lead. Also, they had a couple of candidates where there were 2 brothers. Like, there was 2 that you could...
And they were both from the same gym, too.
Yeah, so how's that work? Like, you can put 2 guys in the same... So I was a little concerned. Now, to tell you the truth, kid, I voted for you. You got... and my vote... It counts for 2. But yeah, I study the scene and I watch what's going on. Also, I think you're a good teenage ambassador for American Muay Thai. But yeah, were you surprised when you got the win?
Yeah, I thought, because the person that was number 1, I thought she was going to win, kind of.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll see. But then when I was like, yeah.
Your peeps came through.
Yeah.
Everybody,
yeah.
I got a lot of DMs telling me, well, we voted for your boy,
There you go.
Power of thanks to Only Dads, All the
dads
I
know you guys got it's a good platform to be able to promote your son on there and kind of share that spotlight.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy. I think the end of the year awards are great. Some people get really upset about it. There's some people that never get recognized, and some people that do. But I think it's a good, healthy thing if you have a positive approach to it. And I voted. I don't vote a lot, but this year I got involved, and I really honestly voted for the candidates I thought were the best, not just for my own team. But here's the interesting thing: is our team got nominated for like 7 of the categories.
Yeah.
So
we were busy, man. We got a big gym, and we were busy.
Well, we did a lot.
And 68 fights or something like that?
68 fights. But we were doing a lot as far as the gym industry.
Mm-hmm.
This is the top UFC gym in the country out of 90 gyms. And we've built it around Muay Thai. So we're celebrating a lot as far as, even outside of competition, just what's happening in your neighborhood at your local gym, and the type of business that we're running down here. We're doing that really well here at UFC. And then it's also the media. Shout out to you guys that voted for Muay TV for Podcast of the Year.
Definitely.
And Jay, Chris, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you as well.
Voted.
Yes. And
Nice.
you know what? If you voted for Muay TV, you voted for Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
Because we started this just with that goal, is to try to bring another layer to Muay Thai and highlight what's going on here in NorCal. And so it's great to get the recognition. And I tell you what, I've been in the business for a long time, and this is the first year I got nominated for anything. So that feels really good. I thought I was going to retire.
They were scared of Ezra, that's why.
Ezra, man, you really do deserve it. I mean, you've done a lot for, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for you. We were just, it started with the Kosi vlogs. I'm a huge podcast enthusiast. And Chris had all the setup, and we were talking, and we were like, we need to get this guy on a microphone. Like, he talks and has so much to talk about.
You're reading while he's talking.
Yeah, well, he has so much to give.
The knowledge is out there.
And he's a great speaker, and it's great to have a platform to put you on. And then it really taken off, and thanks to you, like having great guests on. It's not hard in our Northern California area to pull on cool people to talk to who are involved in the sport and doing big things, and there's a lot of we're pushing for a huge growth on this sport here in Northern California.
It's like I told Ezra on our way over here, man, we're going to be part of Muay TV history. We're going to be in one of their episodes, and it's just taking off.
A lot of people
really
don't
enjoy it.
I just heard a lot of people. I can't remember if it was 6 or 8. Most podcasts don't get past, their 5th to 10th episode, and we're on number 11 now. We got a great award from Fight Culture. And it seems like our our views are good. So, it's
the knowledge.
really cool.
It's the knowledge behind it. When you speak and you know what you're talking about, people listen. So that's what it is, And it's very interesting.
That's why we got this guy. I'm like the color commentary. I'm just like a good
You're
talker.
the backup.
I'm the salesman, so I'm just like, hey, so what kind of car do you want to drive?
Well, I've been talking like this forever, and I feel really blessed because I was out of the game in 2019 when COVID started. I closed my gym, the corner gym, and I thought maybe I was out of it. And then I came on with UFC Gym, and it wasn't just coming on with UFC Gym. It was all the people that I met here that came into my life and that believed in me and wanted to give me a microphone. And you and Chris, also Lino with Rising Stars has given me a great opportunity to speak and do commentary on those fights. And I've kind of found a real knack for being able to do that. But the people that know me have always known me as a real nerd, a real martial art encyclopedia, if you will. And I'm very happy to represent NorCal Muay Thai and be that voice. And you know what? The approach to all this stuff, it wasn't about me. It was about Muay Thai, and it was about all of us. And that's been the key to all these bigger projects, more than just training one champion fighter. I believe we won 7 titles this year. But it was moving past my own personal goals and just trying to do the work for Muay Thai. Like they say, play for the song. Not for your little note, not for your little instrument. You need to be a part of it. And that was the real key to kind of attacking all the different categories. But the NorCal team, congratulations, guys. Big wins, Rising Stars, Muay TV, the fighters, the
Rising
gyms.
Stars.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, all of those guys. There's a lot of genuine energy coming from Muay TV. It's a passion project that has is turning into something, and it's just fun to get on here and talk about Muay Thai and kind of people's lives, and just to highlight what you guys do.
And it's funny because one time, I don't remember, I sent you a DM after a fight. I don't know which one it was, but I was like, I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just waiting for it to see what you were gonna post. I was like, I just want to see his take.
I love
I feel
that.
like I felt the same way, because I was like, if I feel the same way, I wonder how Ezra feels.
You know what? And you're not the only one. I have a lot of people that I mentor and I just talk Muay Thai with. And I love that I'm at that age now, and people trust my eye and what's going on with Muay Thai. It's a great thing, and I'm super excited about the future. NorCal Muay Thai team and all the people we have involved are all the real deal, and their intentions are in the right place. So it's very exciting to see where Muay Thai is going to go.
Ezra, what do you got going on for Christmas?
The normal thing, I'm a big Christmas guy.
You water your tree?
I do water the tree.
he got a real tree
with soil.
Yeah,
with soil. He's trying to grow roots back in it.
But let's take one more commercial break, and then when we return, we'll go into the Christmas.
Happy holidays from Energizer.
And we're back. So
Christmas time.
Christmas.
It's the festive season. It's Christmas.
So I really.
What are you doing?
I do a lot for Christmas. When I was younger, I didn't do much. Some years we didn't have Christmas at all, just based on where we were financially. But this year, or these days, it's one of my favorite holidays of the year.
Are you a big gift giver, or are you more of a family time, get the people together kind of thing, or?
Well, I'm a big giver, and relearned that Christmas is the season of giving and gifting. And you definitely see that represented with all the gifts under the tree, or any kind of gift. So I do, and not just in material gift, but doing things for people, acts of service. Also, just making myself present. Like going to family functions. A lot of people want to just eliminate that because sometimes it's tough, and God knows I did in my younger adulthood. You don't want to talk to the annoying in-laws or whatever. Yeah. But now that's one of my gifts is your parents want to see you. So I do go to the family functions. I make sure to talk with them and have that fellowship,
Yeah.
What about you?
We're going to have we're going to do Christmas a little. Everybody's kind of spread out this year, doing their own thing. So we're going to, all the family's going to do their own thing on Christmas morning. I'm going to wake up with my girlfriend and her son. And then after Christmas, like that weekend, we're going to have a bunch of people on our property, do some dinner and bonfire. And
Penryn?
Yep, in Penryn. Yep, we're going to.
Penryn.
That tree week.
Penryn's right up the road.
Just right up the road.
It's a little town.
Oh, I thought it was something with Christmas.
Penryn, and then I live in Loomis, which is kind of right next door. It's a little suburb, or really not suburb. It's more country. Right?
Yeah, no, it's country. I mean, it's Loomis has like a little suburb, but it's majority of its rural area.
But Jay's got some acreage out there. And he does these great bonfires, usually a couple times a year. And Jay, you know what? It's very fitting because one of the original traditions of Christmas and New Year's is burning a log.
The Yule log.
The Yule log.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to take us one and put it off to the side, and that'll be the special Yule log. And if you want, you can carve in a couple wishes.
Maybe it's the we'll dedicate that little Yule log to my neighbor Kevin.
Yeah. So the other week he fell a tree on his property, and his next door neighbor come over and said it was his. So he was like, "Why are you cutting down my cedar tree?" And
we're not going to put anything on on record or anything, but yeah. So there's some property line disputes currently, and this tree it was marked by PG&E. It was grown in the power line, but it's a big ass cedar tree, and I was like, I want to cut this thing down, man. Like I want to, I got this nice 20-inch bar. I got a Husqvarna or a Stihl, real nice chainsaw. So I wanted to put it to use and cut this thing down. So I'm cutting it down, and I've fallen quite a few trees on my property, and I thought I was decent at it, but so I'm cutting this down, I'm putting the wedge in, and I'm looking at it, and I'm all right, I'm getting it all straight and cut, and this thing starts going the opposite way that I want it to. Like I'm like gonna land it in my yard on like this this wide open area, so I can just kind of like leave it, cut it there, and then just get to it when I need to. Yeah. So it goes backwards on top of our fence. It's a chain link fence, or it's like a
it's a country fence.
Yeah, it's like a cattle fence. Right?
It's a wire fence.
It's a wire fence. So it falls on that. It's fine. But I'm like, fuck. I gotta chop this thing up. And he comes over and he's like, "That's my tree. It's on my prop. Blah blah blah." And he starts raising a whole fuss. And I'm like, "Listen, it's down. Do you want the wood? Yeah. Like, what do you want to do?"
I think I saw it on your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay handled it well, and I would be upset too if you cut down my tree.
Oh yeah, no, I
no matter what kind of tree it is, I would be.
I don't blame him. I mean, there's like I said, a little bit of a dispute, and I think eventually I'll solve that dispute by doing something. And it was fun. He came over, he helped me move some wood and stuff like that. But that's what I'll be doing is burning that thing for the family. And
so what about the tree?
What about
the last? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
You guys do the tree?
It's
the real tree?
Christmas tree.
Do you water the tree?
Yeah. I don't
know. So tell us that story. So did you got a tree, live tree?
There's a live tree in the house.
And somebody made sure you were putting water in it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, water the tree." And I'm like, aren't you supposed to put some soil in there? I didn't know you're supposed to water it. Just sit there.
Yeah,
we don't put any soil. We just put water, just like flowers.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Definitely,
you put soil?
No. It was just a thought.
That would be crazy.
Water that damn
Give it
thing
some
because you don't want that thing dying with your Christmas lights on it and then it burning
Yeah, you
your
can
house
already
up.
see the bottom of the tree going like this.
Now, I'm a big tree guy. You guys know if you watch my story, I spend a lot of time up in the Sierra Nevadas, and the pine tree is significant. And yeah, I got a lot of people in my family, they have the artificial tree, and I just can't do it. It's not right. You need a real tree, and it needs to be brought into your living room.
You need to kill the tree, bring it into your room,
and water it,
and then decorate it.
And it's part of the tradition. It's an offering. Also, it's a sign of good fortune for the new year. The evergreen, the tree that never dies, the tree that's always green. And yeah, the plastic one just doesn't do it for me. I even like going to the lot and seeing. I even asked the guys, where are these trees from? And my tree is from Oregon, all the way from Oregon, and it's in my front room, and it's got to be, it's old tradition.
Yeah.
What else? Do you guys do the gift buying and gift giving?
Normally we do it throughout the year. Like I told him, he's like, whatever you want to do. Normally we take the time just to hang out with our family.
Family time.
Yeah, because we're always on the go. If I'm not training, he's training. If he's not fighting, I'm fighting, and we're just all over the place. So this time we take it to actually have like family time.
Yeah, the gift of being together.
Yeah,
is a huge
That's
gift.
pretty big. Yeah.
It's nice to be able to enjoy that without the gifts.
Yeah.
That's why I like Thanksgiving a lot.
And wait till you can't get together. And like this year I had both of my brothers here for Thanksgiving, and that hasn't happened in over 5 years where we're both in the same room. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a great tradition in itself, is getting together, eating and drinking, and being merry
and being jolly.
It's very, very important. But Ezra, no big Santa's list. What's on the list?
I just want
Chrysler 300.
Yeah.
What else?
Kasubis, purple jeans.
Purple jeans? Like just the color of the denim? It's a brand.
Brand.
Like the purple pillow?
What? Tell us more. What's up with purple jeans?
Like denim jeans, kind of.
But why are those hot?
I just like them.
The brand?
The brand purple.
Like
but they're blue though, right?
No, you can get them in different styles,
but the brand is called purple.
I get it.
And it was like $397 for a pair.
No,
flexing.
No, I bought a pair for like $140.
Champ needs that drip.
Yeah, right.
He needs to pull up.
He's wearing like my whole paycheck.
Right now, I'm wearing Subies.
Yeah.
What about what about the future for you? Like, you want to go to college, or do you want to? Any of that on your mind? Is there out of state, in state?
In state.
In state?
Yeah.
Want to stick around here?
His dad can't leave me.
Yeah. What's on your interest?
For college, Stanford.
Stanford, okay. Medical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, medical.
You want to do some medical? Be a doctor? Surgeon?
Surgeon, I can't handle it.
Can't handle the surgery?
I have a weak stomach.
Yeah.
Just gonna work in the medical field,
Be a
huh?
phlebotomist.
A lot of good work to be done
Janitor
there.
at the hospital.
Yeah.
I always thought it was interesting.
Still get the medical,
right?
You see the pop culture Christmas of America. This little decor we have here. I always thought it was interesting the stuff that has shined through the generations. The tree, the holly, the pine cone,
the mistletoe.
The mistletoe.
Mistletoe's
and then we can't forget about Santa. What about Santa? Ezra, do you believe in Santa?
No, I don't.
So
it's kind of tough, like when you look up a chimney, right? You look up a chimney and you're like,
he's kind of old too.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the whole Santa thing. Luis, did you ever believe in Santa?
Never.
Justin, don't lie.
Oh, hell yeah.
You did.
Well,
Tell what
I did
age?
when I was like
Absolutely.
9.
I mean, I grew up in a Christian family, and we did Christmas big, and there wasn't an elf at my age, but yeah, I believed in Santa Claus. I thought that I was probably, God, if I had to remember, might be like 6 or 7.
We
Usually
did-
it's typical age.
We did not. I cannot remember an age where we were like, yeah, this is a real guy and he's coming.
Leo
You know?
caught onto it quick. Leo was asking questions basically as soon as he could ask questions about Santa Claus, and he's, well, how does he, what the pellet stove? How do, like how does he get there?
Yeah.
This house doesn't even have a chimney. Where does he?
Right. We didn't think it was real. As soon as I was old enough to remember, we already had it figured out. But we thought it was weird that obviously he can come down a chimney. He had a list and knew if you had been good or bad, which is very interesting. Like he's keeping tabs and how. And then there's other magical stuff like him flying through the air. So
that sack. How does he carry all those the
also,
toys in the sack?
Also, imagine coming into coming into your front room as a kid. I mean, it would be terrifying.
Stranger danger.
Yeah.
And then you invite him with cookies and milk.
But also, if you were bad, you didn't get visited by him. You got coal. There's all these weird traditions. But the other thing, and if you look back into the lore, he wasn't like a man. He can come into your house. He's more of a spirit. In the spirit of Christmas.
Saint Nick.
Which doesn't mix well with a lot of religions, and you see religions kind of rejecting it because that's kind of mystical,
Yeah.
But that takes us into Christmas movies. Do you guys like, Ezra, do you watch Christmas movies?
Just Home Alone.
Home Alone, see, that's a big
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
That's your one?
Yeah.
No other ones stick out?
Come on, you've seen Elf.
Chris, can we pull up
You've seen
any
Elf. Yeah, come on.
movie clips here? Well, he spoke on Home Alone, which
A Christmas
Macaulay
Story.
Culkin.
A Christmas Story is an iconic one. It's not a action-packed movie, but it's fun to see like the sitcom style era. When was that? The 70s, early 80s.
Mine was like Bad Santa.
Christmas
Bad
Story.
Santa. Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob.
It's hilarious. Christmas Story is good though. You should
So
watch
Home
that one.
Alone,
You can shoot
great,
your eye out.
great movie, very entertaining. But I forget kind of the moral. I remember he meets the bird lady in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
There was a real heartfelt moment in that, but I forget. A Christmas Story is classic, and I believe that came out in the 80s, and that's with Ralphie. Have you guys seen this?
No.
With the Red
good.
Ryder BB gun, and you're going to shoot your eye out.
Yeah. The
Ezra, you've never seen it? Oh, well, this is a
scene
holiday
where they're
film.
dressing up the younger brother because he's got to walk to school.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever grown up in the snow or lived in the snow, but bundling up to get your kid to school or as the kid was such an ordeal because now we have all kinds of more more movable
Clothing.
winter wear,
Yeah.
and before it was just like a one piece, a real thick winter sweater, and you were just like
Like the
and
Michelin
kid's
tire
like,
guy?
yeah, looking like this, and he's just like like walking down the street. And
There's so many good parts of the movie that you just got to see it, and
the
it's
dad's
enjoyable.
an old asshole, just always grumpy. And
It's good for kids and adults, and it kind of represents that American picture of what Christmas was in the older generation. But I like to hear, like, the younger guys, like, what do they want for Christmas these years, or do they even celebrate it?
Do they have a list?
Here you go, right here. Is this Christmas Story? Ah, yes.
Yeah, classic. Just old.
Yeah.
Old,
Look at
but,
there's the little brother.
Just little kids sticking their faces on glass.
Also, the dad wins a contest and gets that famous lamp that's the shape of a woman's leg. And it was
I just recently seen it in a commercial.
And it was the most
Iconic.
controversial thing in their neighborhood that all the other parents would come and look at this leg, and that was like completely rated X back then. Seeing a leg,
Especially
imagine
in
that
fishnets.
now. You got Sabrina Carpenter now, but back then, just seeing someone's leg was like
A plastic
you're gonna
leg
get a
with-
divorce.
Yeah, with fishnets. Honey, don't look at that.
Yeah.
You know what? I seen it in one of the commercials not that long ago.
It's
With the
iconic.
ad, in the ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
then-
usually see it in
and
like
that's what they even said. They're like, iconic.
So some people even have the lamp.
Oh yeah,
They
you'll see
put
it
it
in like
out-
your stoner friend's house, next to the lava lamp, and he'll have the Christmas Story leg.
And the frightening
Oh,
Santa.
yeah, the
Santa in this
Claus.
movie is frightening.
It's back when your parents always used to take you to the mall to go get a photo with Santa, and it was just like the worst.
We just took Ezra yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah?
No.
Let's go with
No,
the
you
belts.
didn't,
Bring
no.
the 4 belts.
Right.
Yeah, right. Oh shit, that would be a flex.
Now, mine.
Here it is. Here's the leg.
There's the leg.
There's the leg.
They had to cut that out. It was too risky, too risque. Now, mine, now you know I'm going to go a little deeper. And one of the most famous has to be...
Don't say Die Hard.
Well, that one. But A Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Charles Dickens and Ebenezer Scrooge. You guys, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then, Chris, they did a remake about
What's
10
the
years
little
ago.
kid's name?
But the remake they did with Jim Carrey, and it was an animation, but this is an old story. It's a book, right?
Which one?
And they've done
A
like
Christmas Carol.
Looney Tunes with it.
Yes, Disney.
Disney's done it. Yeah.
A Christmas Carol. Charles Dickens. Yes. There it is with Jim Carrey. But see, the thing that makes the Christmas Carol unique to these other movies you guys mentioned is it goes back a little further into the lore of Christmas.
That was a good one.
Because the Christmas Carol has Ebenezer Scrooge, who's very stingy. And on Christmas Eve, he's visited by the spirit ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And then
right.
it's a little bit scarier, you know, but it's basically they're weighing his karma or where he is at in his heart, which is interesting, and it relates to the tradition of gift giving. Because he's been taking. How much has he been giving?
He has he's an account. He owns an accounting firm or something like that, and his employee that works for him, who does like everything for him, is just dirt poor and doesn't even have enough to put any food on the table. And this guy, you know, he kind of goes through these flashbacks and like these visions through the movie of seeing other people who he's come in contact with and who he hasn't helped where he could have, or he shut the door in their face because, you know, it was cold, or he wasn't going to bring them in, and then it was like the spirit of Christmas past, future, or present and future showed him all these things.
And they weren't nice guys.
No.
It was like these guys right here.
No, those are the
probably
bankers.
aren't nice
That's
guys
an old,
either. But
Chris, that's an old one. That's not the animated one. But
this
that's
is a good one.
That's the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason this story is so great is because of this interaction, his interactions with these ghosts. Also, the Christmas season and the spirit of Christmas being one of giving. Like you've been taking, and you want a Christmas list. But should you? It should be more about what you're giving. What you're giving, not what you're going to receive. And then he's been collecting all his money, but then after he has these interactions with these ghosts, they kind of scare the sense into this guy. And on Christmas Day, he's giving out all his money. He's
turkeys.
And this is kind of, I love it because
he's having a realization that his life is shit.
A lot of people that want to cut Christmas out of their life, it's based on what you have to buy. It's based on the money part. And you don't have to buy anything to gift someone.
Right.
You could do a service.
You could show up at their house and help them move some wood.
Yeah. So it's a very poor excuse to cut Christmas out because of you don't want to buy gifts or the complaining about commercialism and buying. You could make a pine cone glittery ornament and that would be okay. You know, that would definitely work it. But this hits on old Christmas, and then look, he's got the holly in the hair, and they're like, what the hell's going on?
The lamb chops, the look in his eyes.
But yeah, Saint Nick as a spirit, he easily could come down your chimney. These guys in Christmas Carol were huge, and they were just sitting in his room. You know, they don't even need a chimney. They just come right through the wall as far as the old lore goes. But I got to bring up one more. Chris Smith. Apex Media.
Media Apex.
Behind Rising Stars, Muay Thai 9 on that. Chris, congratulations on that last broadcast. It was fantastic. Audio,
Way
video.
to make those sponsors look amazing.
Sponsors were happy. Thousands of views on YouTube. I'm looking forward to the next one. Rising Stars 9. Gonna be sick. February. But Chris, I got to do one more. And this one, I I didn't really remember it as a Christmas movie when I watched it the first time, but then I came back at doing some research. I came across it again, and it was
the Polar Express. That's the best. I love
What?
the Polar Express.
Go into it then.
the
Let's
new
hear
one?
why.
The
new
Polar
one?
Express. Oh man, that was like my. So I read the Polar Express every Christmas for years.
Polar.
And it's a great story. It's kind of more takes like a children's approach to the magic of Christmas. And
It's a kid's book. How can it be the best?
No way. It's not.
It is.
Well,
the author came to my elementary school when that book came out.
Absolutely,
Signed it.
absolutely. That's cool. It absolutely is a children's book, but I think that where your interpretation on Christmas that you just described is such a more iconic and more traditional way, but
Old and scary.
like the Ebenezer Scrooge story, but the Polar Express is just full of magic.
Yeah.
And it's like from start to finish. You can't hear or see anything that's going on unless you can hear the bell. And the bell is, we always had a bell, and we'd ring it and be like, oh, the parents can't hear it, because if you don't believe, you can't hear Santa's sleigh, so you can't hear the bell. So like the significance of the bell is that it came off of Santa's sleigh, because in the book or the movie, both Santa gives the main character child a bell off the sleigh. And anyways, it's just full of imagination. It's really cool. It makes you want to cry. I'm a big heartfelt person. I love watching this kind of stuff because I'm just,
But it was about the spirit of Christmas.
A little mental clarity and just cry it out for a little bit.
The bell represented the spirit of Christmas, and he kept the bell and maintained the spirit until he was an adult. And most people can't hear it when they're adults because they've died inside.
Yes.
So that is pretty good.
It's not believing it anymore. That's
and it's cute, and it's about the kids and the magic of what they see in the morning and stuff. So
also,
big fan of that one.
Also, what really gives it magic is like what it symbolizes, and then like I was saying before.
And Tom Hanks, he's amazing.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks is amazing.
But a lot of people just throwing the holiday out the window. Those are the people the bell doesn't ring for.
That's right.
But what about, we got to go back to the last one, which again, more of an adult film. Ezra, you'd probably be bored out of your mind. But for Christmas and Christmas movies, this has to be way up there, especially for nerd lore and more in-depth story, is a recent A24 film called The Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
Okay.
And The Green Knight got mixed reviews.
No, if I saw that.
It's part of the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur. It's part of that whole lore. And The Green Knight, yes.
And it's a Christmas movie.
It is. Well, it is a Christmas movie. And a lot of the old festivals they had at Christmas time or Yuletide, which is very close to New Year's. And yes, this happens. Look they're at the round table. That's King Arthur right there. And then the Green Knight approaches, who's a tree. Ironically, a tree. And this is the knight that goes on his quest. And the Green Knight presents him with a game. And he offers to strike the tree or the Green Knight. But whatever blow you strike, you will pay back the following year on Christmas. So that's what happens. The young knight doesn't understand what happens, and he lops off the Green Knight's head. So what does that mean for him the next year? Is that he needs to repay that same blow. So the story takes you into his search for valor and him having to replay this blow to the head.
I'm about to watch it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. That looks sick.
And again,
that looks a little more
it goes
way
it goes way past Santa Claus, and it goes way darker. And it's another thing like about giving and taking. He took a lot, and it was a game. He didn't have to take anything. The Green Knight laid his axe down, and the knight still decided to cut his head off in front of the round table. And it was kind of like an ego-driven move from a young man, and everyone kind of stood there and watched as he did it. But then what?
How embarrassing.
But now you have to repay what you took. And again, Christmas spirit isn't about taking, it's about giving. But he took the head, so what does he owe? And again, the movie takes you all through that. Plus, A24 as a publishing house, the cinematography. Again, a lot of people didn't get it, so they didn't like it. But these are some of my most favorite films. Kind of like Blade Runner. Blade Runner, very
Amazing.
bad reviews,
Awesome.
and now is one of the best sci-fi movies ever. So don't believe the mob. Go watch for yourself.
Do you see why we got this guy on the podcast? Epic. Awesome talker.
Now, Jay, if you remember, our last guest, Marty, had the Green Knight shirt on. And I spoke on it. He was wearing the shirt because he's a big movie nerd. But also, it's more than the movie nerd. Ezra, have you heard of the Sword and the Stone?
No.
See, this is stuff that everyone should know. And King Arthur and the Sword and the Stone. The sword could not be removed from the stone but by the king. And it's involved in that whole story, Books of Avalon.
Have you been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Knights of the Round Table?
No.
Now, I'm going to blow your mind because Round Table's pizza.
It's based on that.
Yeah, and when we used to go in there for pizza, even all the decor inside was like medieval theme.
You know what? Now that you say
medieval times.
That's
Have you been to
logo?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Medieval Times.
Medieval Times is sick.
They should have Round Table pizza. But the Round Table
They
comes
should have
from
one right next to freaking golf.
Well, they had
Topgolf,
they had
dude.
one of those at one of the Muay Thai purists in Reno not that long ago. They had a full-on combat with knights.
The medieval
armored combat.
Armored
combat.
The armored
They had
combat.
one in Reno.
Those are fucking sick, dude.
I'm digging that.
That's
crazy. I was just
now that's an investment right there. I mean, I'm sure one of the just like that whole suit costs at least $3,000.
Yeah. Now we were thinking about getting into it. Like, we'll get a NorCal team. Me and Marty.
Okay,
we talked about this, but the armor is that's a good guess because it starts at
I'll be your
$3,000.
sire.
You just full pads.
And it's interesting. They call it bowhurt, and it's really a popular sport around the world. But the Russians have really brought it back in the last 20 years. But they do it like the Pan Am Games. We can go and have a U.S. team. They do 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 5-on-5, 12-on-12.
Sounds interesting.
With blunted weapons and armor. Ezra, you down?
Yeah.
We'll get a junior team, NorCal Muay Thai, bowhurt. Let's go.
You can throw kicks too.
Oh.
Dudes would be kicking dudes.
Use
in the
those
face.
shin guards to fight in.
Yeah, I mean, you're plated up.
But yeah, so Christmas. Now we got Christmas, but you know what? Right around the corner, right in that same span, we have New Year's, and New Year's is interesting. What are you guys doing? Do you guys do anything big for New Year's? No traditions?
No traditions. Just enjoy the time with the family. That's all we do.
You get together though.
Yeah.
That's a tradition.
Yeah.
You guys are hanging out, and Jay, what about you?
New Year's. I don't know. I don't think I have any plans for New Year's.
Nothing yet, huh?
Nothing yet.
We might have to
probably
put something together.
Sit out and watch the constellations.
Now, yeah, it's right in that same week, and it's interesting. You know, those. The marking of the new year, and again the traditions. What traditions are there at New Year's? And getting together is one of them. Eating and drinking, being
staying
merry
up till midnight. The ring of the bell, the watching the apple drop,
the gunshots.
Yeah. So
the gunshots.
So here's the thing.
Hella gunshots, depending on where you live too.
The loud noise. Making the loud noises and burning things is an ancient New Year's tradition, and it's to kill off the last year and to bring in the new one. And we're trying to do this to bring in good fortune. What are we looking at? $6K. We can get you in a 300.
I actually like that you wanted the Chrysler 300. The first thing I thought of was, well, that's affordable.
Ezra, does it need a certain spec? I mean, are you a V8 guy or what?
Yeah,
he wants good gas mileage.
SRT8.
He wants less horsepower for this young man and just a nice cruise control V6.
That's because I have one. I have a 2016 Chrysler 300, and it's very comfortable to ride in.
There you
With
go.
the V8?
No, mine's a 6, a gas saver.
Yeah. Yep.
What's up? You need the big dog or what?
Yeah.
It's SRT.
Get in the Scat Pack.
Right.
Man. You're going to have to live at home to afford those insurance and gas prices.
Dude, insurance on kids is expensive. It's like
it's
damn, that's not bad.
It's like $500 a month to get Jack insured. He's 16.
No, wait. California, you got the insurance companies moving out of California. We had to get new insurance this year, and me and my wife have perfect driving records. Our insurance went up over 40%.
Damn.
And because of where we live, Sacramento area, some of the worst drivers in the country. But then also, just that's the cost of things because there's not that many providers.
Yeah. Fire insurance right now is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he doesn't have to drive right now. He's good.
So going into the new year, Ezra from Youth Muay Thai. I mean, what can we expect from you in the future?
Just more fights. I'm keep fighting. Maybe
What's the ultimate goal with you?
fighting in Thailand, pro.
Well, I definitely see that coming. I mean, you could be doing that right now if you really wanted to get crazy.
Yeah, that is my plan. I do want to fight.
With the teenagers?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big teenage scene out there, and I say it all the time. That's where a lot of the action's happening. The big Channel 7 and the big gambling fights. It's not with the old guys. And some people, they get mad because I was like, Rotang, he's getting old. But we saw him missing weight, and people forget that he's been fighting since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, those teenagers, those guys from 15 to 18, that's some of the craziest, most competitive, and most beautiful Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to get the most competition out over there.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And then the next generation, I mean, imagine growing up watching what's happening now, and then, these guys are feeding off all that.
Yeah, they're getting to see it from a much younger age, and inspired, and YouTube and all the different organizations that you can watch. It's so much more at your fingertips. So and then the support from parents and all the gear and the great coaches and stuff that we have in the NorCal area.
So I think February 1st he might have his return back to boxing, a fight. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's going to do both.
Yeah, so he's going back to the gym. Already he started boxing again.
Smart.
That'd be fun to go watch you do a boxing match. Is that going to be local, you think?
Normally they're up here. So
okay.
So we'll see where he's going to do it.
Do you have any major plans as far as boxing? Muay Thai.
Yeah.
You're just using boxing to develop the hand skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Luis, what about you, my friend? New Year's, any resolutions?
No.
Just more of the same, huh?
More of the same. Yeah, I've been good for the past 5 years. So
yeah,
keeping the same schedule, everything going about the same way.
What about you? Any New Year's resolutions? Anything changing on the new year that you're?
You know what? I always do. I always come into the year with a couple of things that I want to improve about myself and kind of set the tone for the year. I don't know if I've set them yet. I've been thinking about them. You guys see my content, and I'm reviewing what just happened. I mean, so much happened this year. But I can remember coming into this year, a couple of my focuses for 2024 was controlling the media that I'm absorbing. You're being fed constantly through your device. So I've been trying to filter and absorb intelligent content and stuff that's going to help with my attention span and just where my energy's at. Not thinking on negative things and watching negative things too much, but investing the very limited time I have left in my old age into good things. So that's gone.
Well, I'll stop sending you all those stupid memes then.
No way. That's some of the good stuff. You know what I mean, though. Like it's very easy to go down the wrong rabbit hole.
Totally.
And
it's those threads, dude. The threads. It's like I wish I could get rid of the threads because I don't know who I'm seeing or what I'm being advertised to, but it's like some inflammatory thing that I'm like, who the fuck is this? I gotta click on this. And look at these stupid ass comments, dude. These people are fucking stupid. And I'm like going to say something, and I'm like, nope, all right.
Yeah,
put the phone
I do
down,
that too. Like,
go away.
Sometimes like I just keep my opinion to myself, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the best thing to do. Why comment on anything like that?
But it's the violence. It's a lot of times with men, it's the women, and I've gotten in trouble. I'll be on my phone doing nothing. And then I'll go on the Explore page, and then there's women on there. And my wife will see, and she's not happy with that. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Oh, yeah. It's the algorithm.
All 20 of those squares are filled up with butts and boobs.
Yeah. But yeah.
Let me check your phone real quick.
Let
me see.
How much time?
No different than ours.
Yeah. How much time are you going to spend, looking at that or violence or whatever? The other thing was learning how to speak better. And I obviously been speaking my whole life, but actually making it a point to study great speakers and practice speaking better. And it's been working. I'm a tough critic. You guys know that, work with me on my fighters, but also on my own performance. But yeah, speaking is not easy. And guys that are getting on the microphone in front of the camera, they can attest to that. It takes practice. But I'm happy with how that went. The other thing was the reading, and I've talked about that a lot. And not just reading, we're all reading content, but reading the great writers. And a lot of guys have come to me and they're like, well, what should I read? I'm like, don't look for the book, look for the author. You know, who are the great writers that understand how to make a sentence and speak well? And there's so many through the history of men. So I've been I haven't done as good on that one. My wife really kicked my ass this year. My wife read like 15 novels this year.
Wow.
But that's what she does. I'm like writing and talking to you guys about fights and getting the content ready. My wife can finish a book in like a day and a half or something like that.
Damn.
But reading, really good for the brain, and something that's outdated but should be looked at again. Just because it's outdated, it's like running. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. You know, there's something that happens with your mind. Also, you're not going to see these great authors on any of the content on your phone. You're going to have to go look for them in their book. Like The Christmas Carol. Charles Dickens. Who is it? I don't know.
Ezra, do you like running?
Not really.
No, you haven't found the love for it yet. No, but you're running, right?
Yeah.
How much? What's your? How many miles a week do you usually run?
Well, I'll try to run like 2-3 times a week. So sometimes I'll do like 3.
3 miles.
3.
That's
or
good.
4.
Yeah. That's good. That's good average.
Yeah, that's good
number
to hear
for a couple
too.
times a week.
It's good to hear that.
You can really get into loving running. Like I never thought I'd like running, and I
enjoy it.
Was never a runner growing up. I hated it during soccer. I played soccer, but I was a goalie, and I fucking hated running. But it's a good way to like get your mind cleared, and it's 30-40 minutes on a run is you can really find yourself sometimes.
Yeah, one time I was like, I'm gonna do 1 mile, and then I'm like, no, I'll do 2, I'll do 3, and then I hit 5 miles, and I was like, you know what, I'll do another 2. I ended up running 8 miles.
Damn.
But you know what? These kids don't need that trauma running like we do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They haven't had a divorce and a bankruptcy.
You're running and crying.
Ezra needs to get home to look at the belt and think about the Chrysler, and
make sure there's enough tricks in the pantry.
But you know what? For me, as a coach and a coach of junior athletes, it's good to hear that you're not overtraining, because so many guys are gung-ho, especially when you see a young, talented athlete that has a future ahead of him. Sometimes the coaches just go insane, like these high school football coaches, and these kids aren't even going to play in college. But it sounds like they're pacing you for success, and that they're not going to burn you out by the time you're 18.
It's way different, because when I was boxing, I was fighting like I'll fight like the one weekend, I'll fight the next weekend, or I'll fight every other weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it works, but works for how long? Also, what's best for the kid? There's a lot of opinions on coaching, and people see what I'm doing with the teenage team I have here, but I'm just like, watch what I'm going to do with these kids over 10 years, not just in 6 months. Also, 6 months, you can't really do much.
No.
I always tell these parents, it takes 3 years till you have something. So you got to chill out. You got to let these kids be kids and have a balanced life. And let's let them get their feet under them. And think if you keep going at the rate you're at, what you're going to do at 18. But if you squeeze too hard, I've seen so many guys, they never make it to 18. We see some of them at the fights.
Yeah, you just takes the love and the fun out of it. You want to, at your age, you want to make sure you're just still having a lot of fun with it, and you're not, when you overtrain and it just becomes more of a job, and you're not having fun with it. Kids are going to be, younger people are going to be able to quit something like that a lot easier than sticking with it as an adult, where you're going to go through valleys and
it's something that I tell him all the time. It's like, you're going to go as far as you want to go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be upset at you if you want to stop. It's like, wherever you want to go, you're going. At first I would be like, hey, you need to go to the gym, you need to do this, Then I had caught myself, and I was like, hey.
But that's like the motivation to start them. It's like one thing to like get them in and keep them going, and then it's like if you've pushed them and then they're still not into it, you know, you got to see the kid like see him through the season. You know, you can't quit halfway through the soccer season. Right. So it's
my gripe with the coaches and the parents is they never trained like that. They're trying to have these kids train like that. They're having them do stuff I don't have my pros do. Yeah. They never did it. So how do they figure that's what they're going to have this junior athlete do? And how do they figure that's going to work? They're just guessing at it. That's my gripe. And they're going to live and learn. I mean, you got to start somewhere. But, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. You have a young, exciting athlete, and then you're going to have them do stuff that you don't even see adult fighters doing.
Yeah. Well, Ezra, man, we're excited to see what 2025 has in store for you, and Luis, we're looking forward to seeing your fight in February.
Thank you.
And yeah, we appreciate you having coming on and being here.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
And so what's next? We got first fight on the docket. What is it for 2025?
For him, boxing.
The boxing.
January.
February 1st.
And then right into Rising Stars.
Yeah.
February 8th.
Yeah.
Track 7.
Yeah, so then after that, I mean, he's doing the boxing, and then he's just getting ready for the nationals. So that's what he's doing next.
Yeah.
After March, and then he's going to trying to get on to go to Verona, Italy to fight also in June.
Well,
so you got a lot of big things coming up.
Yeah.
Passport ready.
Everything's ready.
Delaware, Italy.
But as far as NorCal Muay Thai, there's so many cards happening right in the first part of the year, especially February. It's going to be, get your rest right now, guys, because once the new year starts, it's going to be going, and it's very exciting. We're super excited to be coming into the new year with all this momentum.
Yeah, sponsors get ready for Rising Stars coming up, and we'll be reaching out to you guys. And if anybody's interested in sponsoring the podcast, reach out to Ezra or I, and we'd love to have you on our show here and get you guys promoted.
Yeah.
But all right, anything else?
No, I think that was great. Again, thanks you guys for coming down. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And that's a wrap for episode 11.
Thank you.